What is up, everybody? We are back here at King Films for the Week 12 NFL game predictions and betting locks, and very exciting Thanksgiving week slate on the table here. But first, we have to recap a pretty bad Week 11. I'm feeling much better about Week 12, but first to go over, the first betting lock we had was the Falcons +5. I did have the Saints winning the game. Saints did win the game, but Falcons only put up 9 points, really got clamped down by that Saints defense, which is looking pretty impressive. I thought the Falcons would have put up at least 20 points. They just didn't. Lost the game 24-9. Taysom Hill was actually pretty effective, 200 yards passing, and then 2 touchdowns on the ground for him. So they stumbled a little in the first half. I thought I had this one in the bag. It was 9-3 Falcons, but the Saints rattle off 21 straight to end the game. And we lose that best bet. Pretty unfortunate. I felt pretty good about that one. Next one, we had the Titans +7, the Ravens winning the game, and the Titans just win it outright. Ryan Tannehill had a decent game, but again, Derrick Henry is great against the Ravens. You saw it in the divisional round last year. And I really thought it was over when it was 21-10 Ravens. I thought the Titans might cover, but the Ravens had it in the bag. No, Titans got 2 field goals, then a touchdown, 2-point conversion, and then the touchdown in overtime. King Henry reigns supreme against the Ravens. Again, I cover that best bet. And then, an abysmal bad beat. Chargers, I had -8.5, and I believe they were up by over 20 points to Joe Flacco and the Jets. And somehow, the Chargers, they had whatever they wanted through the air or on the ground versus this Jets defense. But then the Jets come all the way storming back. They even had the ball with less than 2 minutes, down by 8, threatening to tie the game. And I just feel really bad about that one because the Chargers, up by 20 or more in the fourth quarter, could have easily closed that one out and covered. But that's just the danger that you run into when you bet this high of a spread, which I did. So overall, as you can see, there are a lot of red X's on the board. We ended up going 7-7 on the game predictions, tied for the worst week at King Films. We are poised to do better this week. Got some unfortunate breaks and predicted some upsets that didn't happen. Overall, though, pretty impressive. 109, 49-1. It was a hard week for everybody, so it's not too bad, but we got to bounce back this week. And then the betting locks. As I said, we're 1-2, 16-19-3 overall. I've got 4 cooked up this week, and this is the best I've ever felt about betting locks. We've got to hit them this week, and I think we're going to do it. So just 3 back of 500 right now. And now on to a pretty underwhelming Thanksgiving slate. We have 2 games which aren't the best. First, we have Texans at Lions, and give me the Texans here. I had them upsetting the Patriots last week, one of my great game predictions, only great one I would say, and they really torched the Patriots defense. Deshaun Watson had himself a day. The Johnsons had a great day on the ground, and they were able to put up 27 on a pretty good Patriots defense. The Lions defense is much worse, so give me the Texans there. The Lions, 0 points. I mean, they didn't even advance it past the Carolina 40-yard line. An abysmal day on offense. It's a short week. Give me the team that's more hot. Give me the Texans to win the game. Next game, we have the football team at the Cowboys. And give me the Cowboys here. As I said, short week. Give me the more hot team. I mean, the football team, I predicted them to lose against the Bengals. And it was kind of bull that they even won that game. If Joe Burrow was still in, I'd say the Bengals would have probably won that game. Brutal injury for the Bengals and him. I'll get to that later. But for now, Cowboys, great upset win against the Vikings. Now they're looking like they could take the NFC East again. They're usually great in this home Thanksgiving game. Zeke had over 100 yards on the ground, and Andy Dalton looked pretty good. So give me the Cowboys narrowly here, even though the football team beat them up in Washington earlier this year. Now on to the Sunday games. And this one is not going to be close. Give me the Dolphins over the Jets. I know the Dolphins didn't look good last week. Upset in Denver. Broncos end up getting the win. But you just cannot trust the Jets. 0-10. I'm not sure if Joe Flacco will still be playing. I assume he will. And Tua or Ryan Fitzpatrick, I assume it's going to be Tua, is going to have a bounce-back game. Didn't look great at Denver. He's just going to be a game manager as he has been in their wins this season. They'll probably make a play on defense or special teams to win this one. Give me the Dolphins there. Next game, we have a pretty exciting one. Kyler Murray and the Cardinals facing off against the Patriots, and this is a bounce-back game for both teams, losing last week, but give me the Cardinals here. I think Kyler Murray will make his presence felt against a Patriots defense that did not do well against a mobile quarterback in Deshaun Watson. Last week, I think Kyler Murray is even more mobile, and the Cardinals have a slightly better offensive line, great weapons. The Patriots defense just is not good against the air raid and mobile quarterback system. And as for Cam Newton, I mean, he didn't look very special against the Texans defense, and I think the Cardinals have a better defense than that, so give me the Cardinals there. Next game, we have the Vikings hosting the Panthers, and give me the Vikings to win this one at home. I know the Panthers may have looked impressive last week, but they made a lot of mistakes. I mean, P.J. Walker throws 2 interceptions in the end zone. That final score could have looked a lot more ugly in favor of the Panthers. And P.J. Walker, he's going to play against a much better defense than the Vikings. Give me the Vikings to win. Kirk Cousins did not have any mistakes last week. Dalvin Cook had a pretty good game on the ground. It was just the Cowboys just surprised everyone. Give me the Vikings here at home. This is a game that they need if they want to stay in the hunt graphic in the playoff picture in the NFC. And now we go into our first best bet of the week. Give me the Browns -6.5 to defeat the Jaguars. I know this one's in Jacksonville, but you've got to favor the Browns. This is the first good weather game that they'll be playing in a while, and I think they're a very similar team to the Steelers, who absolutely blew out the Jaguars last week. It was 27-3. Jake Luton looked terrible against the Steelers front seven, and I think the Browns are built very similarly. Great front seven that can feast on the quarterback. I don't think James Robinson will do much against that Browns defense, and I think they'll just be able to hold the entire game. Jaguars starting Mike Glennon, a perennial backup who's not going to be able to do much with this lackluster offensive talent. Baker Mayfield, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and the guys will do a great job in the running game. They'll put up at least 20 points, and I don't think the Jaguars can get to anywhere close to that. Give me the Browns by multiple possessions here, covering -6.5. And next one, we have the best bet that I'm most confident in. Give me the Titans +4 against the Colts. I took them best bet to win the game last time against the Colts, and they were very underwhelming, specifically on the special team side of the ball. Shanked punt, a blocked punt returned for a touchdown. If it wasn't for that, they would have been in the game. And, I mean, Colts, good upset win against the Packers last week. Very entertaining game, but I think they're getting largely overhyped. I'm not sure if the Titans will win this game. I have them winning, but I think it's very close, definitely within the 4-point spread, and give me that. The Titans given 4 points as my second best bet. Next game and next best bet, we have the Bengals hosting the Giants. Give me the Giants -5.5. They are sneaky good. I've had them winning the last couple weeks. They've looked very impressive. Since week 7, they are 4-0 against the spread, and I think that continues this week. I mean, the Bengals, people don't realize how abysmal they are and will be with Ryan Finley. He's just not a good quarterback, and it gives you more appreciation for what Joe Burrow had to do, the upset wins that he had this season, playing great football on the offensive end. Ryan Finley and the Bengals, I don't even think will put up 10 points in this one. Giants will get it done on the defensive end, and then Daniel Jones and the crew will put up at least 17, I'm saying. So give me the Giants -5.5. Next game could be a very good matchup. The Chargers always play close, but they don't end up winning many games. So give me the Bills to beat the Chargers here. Josh Allen and the crew off of a bye. The last game that they played was that Hail Mary by Kyler Murray game in Arizona. They're going to want revenge. They need a win to exercise dominance in the AFC East. The Dolphins have been creeping back up. They've got to get a win here to solidify their presence there. So give me the Bills to win that. Next game, we have the Raiders at the Falcons, and I would make this a best bet for the Raiders, but they're a little bit suspect of a team coming off of a close game on Sunday Night Football where they really played well, but they lost. But are they going to perceive that game as a win and not try as hard this week, or are they going to really be angered by a game that they should have won but lost, played really well, and then just crush the Falcons? Anyway, I have the Raiders winning the game. Falcons not looking impressive on the offensive side of the ball against the Saints, only scoring 9 points as I already mentioned. Raiders defense isn't good, but I think the Raiders offense is very special against the Falcons defense that really cannot stop anyone. Give me the Raiders there. Next game, we have the Niners coming off of a bye against the Rams, who got a very impressive win on Monday Night Football. They are emerging as one of the NFC's best teams. The Niners upset them last time. Give me the Rams to bounce back here. They're not going to get swept by the 49ers. I mean, don't be fooled. The Niners will come out strong, I believe, in the first half. Maybe have a lead in the second half. Kyle Shanahan is great with some extra preparation. But when it's all said and done, the Rams are just a much better team at this point, and the Niners are riddled with injuries. So give me the Rams there. Next game, we have Taysom Hill and the Saints against the Broncos, and the Broncos cannot pull off the upset 2 weeks in a row. Give me the Saints to win here. And this might be close. It's a game in altitude, and the Broncos might be able to corral Taysom Hill. But I just think that Drew Lock against the Saints defense, he will get clamped in the mile high. Give me the Saints to win this game. And then, one of the great games of the day, we have Patrick Mahomes once again facing off against Tom Brady, this one in Tampa Bay. But Tampa Bay not looking great at this point in the season. But must I remind you that after a loss, they have looked very good this season. They faced the Panthers twice after losses in the season. They blew them out both times. And then the Packers, they blew them out after that loss against the Bears. But this is just another animal. In the Chiefs, they saw how close the Raiders got to winning that game. Patrick Mahomes in a rivalry game against Tom Brady, I think that they will not lose this one. Can't really bet against Patrick Mahomes at this point. Give me the Chiefs to win that. And in the final best bet, we have the Packers hosting the Bears on Sunday Night Football. And largely in these night games this season, the underdog has come to play. There's been so many examples of this. And I have the Packers winning, but the Bears covering +9 in this game. The Bears coming off of a bye. They've lost 4 straight. They're going to have to bounce back. And I think their defense is pretty good. And I think they'll be able to stop Aaron Rodgers to an extent. They won't be able to put up, 31 points that they put up against the Colts. I'm not sure about Nick Foles and that offense. It remains to be seen. But I think they'll at least hang in this game, make it a one-possession game, and make it close, cover that 9-point spread. And then finally, Monday Night Football, I'm going to take the favorite, the Seahawks, the Eagles. I mean, how could you bet on them? They're still in first place in the NFC East, but not looking good at all. And then the Seahawks faced them 2 times in Lincoln Financial Field last year, and I think everyone was hyping up the Eagles in both of those games, one of which was the playoffs, and the Seahawks won both times. So give me the Seahawks there after a bounce-back win against the Cardinals on Thursday night. And finally, to the game that has not been scheduled yet, but is set to be taking place sometime on Sunday. Give me the Steelers. I wanted to pick the Ravens here on Thursday night, Thanksgiving game. I think the Ravens could have bounced back under the lights in Heinz Field, but they just seem stricken with COVID. lost two of their top running backs and then some key defensive players. Give me the Steelers to keep their undefeated season alive. They're really hunting for blood against this Ravens team. Not so often do they get to sweep this Ravens team, and I think they'll do it this year. But it could just be a wacky game because it is an AFC North game in the division. Don't really know what's going to happen. Don't really know if it's going to be played. But give me Pittsburgh if it does happen. And that's going to do it for the week, guys. Comment down below your predictions, your best bets, and I'll see you next week.